What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ash Talks Movies, and welcome to my review of GOAT. This was directed by Tyree Delahaye and Adam Rosett, and it was produced by professional basketball player Steph Curry. This is the latest from Sony Pictures Animation, the same studio behind the Spider-Verse movies, as well as the massive hit K-pop Demon Hunters. GOAT tells the story of a young goat named Will, voiced by Caleb McLaughlin, who dreams of playing for the Violent Thorns, a co-ed professional roarball team led by all-star player Jet Fillmore, voiced by Gabrielle Union, a panther with a chip on her shoulder. When Will gets a once-in-a-lifetime shot, he realizes that fulfilling his dreams won't be easy. Facing setbacks and ridicule, Will is determined to prove that even the smallest animals can ball. Before I jump into the review, if you'd like to support the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. One, make sure you subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Also, jump into the comments and share your thoughts about the movie.
Let's go! Introducing Vineland's very own hometown hero, five-time All-Star Jet Fillmore!
When I get big, I'm gonna be just like her.
You're not just gonna play roarball, you're gonna change the game.
GOAT is a pretty simple underdog story about dreaming big and not letting others keep you from chasing those dreams. And that's exactly what Will is doing. He's a goat that dreams of becoming a professional roarball player. There's only one problem. He's a goat. And in this world, roarball is basically an extreme full contact version of basketball that isn't really kind to small animals like him. The thing is, Will has the skills, but it's still going to take a lot for the other animals to stop underestimating him. Now, one of the highlights of this movie is the gorgeous and stylistic animation. And it's the type of animation you've seen in movies like Spider-Verse and K-pop Demon Hunters, where it almost feels like it's a mixed medium of different types of animation styles and textures, and you see it on full display here in GOAT. The world of GOAT, especially Vineland, where Will lives, is this beautiful blend of cityscapes and natural environments. It's detailed and the colors are vibrant, and the backgrounds often look like watercolor paintings. And you can really see the textures and the details in the animation in a place like Vineland, where the buildings are covered with these lush vines and leaves. The movie really gets to show off the more stylistic side of the animation during the basketball sequences, especially during the gameplay when you get some really quick edits and some slow motion that really emphasize the different character designs, especially with the animals, because the animation overemphasizes certain traits with those animals. You also get to see the style with how the landscapes are designed for the different arenas. When they go play their different games, they're often visiting these different arenas in different environments. So for example, they go play one team in a frozen tundra where the court is made of ice. GOAT was also surprisingly funny with some clever animal gags and some humorous pop cultural references. But this movie is also targeted towards kids, so some of the humor was a little too silly. And there were a couple of times where the movie tries way too hard to make the characters speak like the target audience. It's like that Steve Buscemi meme where he's an older guy dressed like a high schooler and he says, "How do you do, fellow kids?" Now, the voice cast here is really impressive, and it's led by Caleb McLaughlin, who just wrapped up Stranger Things, and he plays Will with a lot of sincerity and a lot of spirit. Will knows he's a champion, but he never comes across as cocky. He's lovable and the kind of character you can easily find yourself rooting for. Gabrielle Union voices Jet Fillmore, the Thorns' star player, and she spends most of the movie working against Will, who she sees as a nuisance rather than a qualified teammate. Jet's problem is that she's not really ready to pass the torch. Union brings a ton of heart to her performance, and the evolving dynamic between Jet and Will ends up being the emotional center of the movie. You also get some great voice work from the supporting cast, including Aaron Pierre, Patton Oswalt, David Harbour, Jennifer Lewis, and Nicola Coughlan. Now, there were times where the movie felt rushed, like it was moving at a lightning pace in some sections, and I think that rapid pace was intentional to keep the attention of the target audience, but it does a disservice to the movie's emotional moments, which get undercut because the movie is so quick to move on to the next thing. GOAT is a charming movie with a positive message and a big heart. Yes, the story is a little too familiar because it sticks really closely to that underdog sports movie format, but it's still a solid, entertaining family movie. So those are my thoughts on GOAT, which is out in theaters this week. Do you plan on seeing it? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So that does it for me, everyone. I'll see you next time. And as always, thanks for watching.